Bonjour, everyone. Hi, this is Neshi Lokotz. Welcome to Communications from Home, right here at Star Nation's main fan page at Facebook. Yeah, tonight is Tuesday, February 12th, and this is the show that's all about our spiritual magazine, Star Nation's magazine. So I'm glad you're here and glad you're here with me this evening. I live in Tomah, Wisconsin, which is in the northwestern part of the state. It's about an hour from east of the Mississippi. And we got about 16 inches of snow today. And it's tapering off, but it's still slightly snowing out. It got to the point where we didn't even know where to put the snow. There's so much. We haven't had one of these snowfalls in years. And I'm talking, we've been in this house for 12 years. And I think the last one was probably maybe 10 years ago, maybe something like that. George, our puppy, the 7-month-old, yeah, he's loving it, but he literally has to do these leaps to get through the snow. So it was kind of fun watching him. So welcome to the show. Tonight's show is all about Star Nation's magazine, and it's the February issue. I'll bring that up so you guys can see that. Yeah, every month we publish on the 10th. And in that publication, it's the culmination of not quite a month-long process. Our magazines do overlap a bit. We publish one, but we've already started working on the next issue, right? I'm publishing, and the contributing writers are writing their articles and pulling together their information to deliver it to me on the 24th of each month, or the 28th, I guess it is. And so we overlap just a bit. And so the 10th, and whenever I do the live stream around the information about the magazine, to me, it's kind of like a celebration because we get to finish up a really good, beautiful product and offer it to you as our readers, right? Yeah. So I want to show you the cover, because the cover is really kind of, oh my goodness, I forgot I put that picture in there. Filling space, trying to make things even. All right, here's the cover. This cover. How nice is that, right? It was our nod to Valentine's Day, really, and also to the creation process. Yeah. Yeah, this particular cover, it was very interesting, this particular cover. And let me explain why. Every month, I take a look at the topics that the writers have to choose from for their articles, right? And then from those topic words, I look for an image that would be the best one for that particular issue. And this one, and a lot of times I get more than one image. And then we have to narrow it down. In the old days, when we first started back in 2013, sometimes I'd have like 5 or 6 images because they were so good. It's like, which one do you take? And then I would do a poll of those people who were involved with Star Nations, if they would pick out their first and second favorite cover. And even my mom was involved at that point. And so everybody would choose their first and second choice. And then the one that had the most likes to it by the executive team is the one that ended up on the cover. Well, and then it kind of dwindled down to maybe only one image per cover. And so there wasn't really anything to choose from, right? And I was leaning more and more on spirit, on my spiritual team, and the guiding spirit here at Star Nations. And so literally they were giving me just one image to choose from. And then I think it was last month in the January issue, I got 2 images. And no, I take that back. It started like in the fall, getting 2 images. And so I would take both images and give them to our layout specialist, Alf Elm, right? And they would work their magic. But before I go any further, I almost forgot to share the show, right? Hey, Pat, good to have you here. Nice to see you in the chat. And Andrea's here too. Hello, Andrea. I'm so glad you guys are with me. and I'm so glad because I looked down and I saw your names and I thought, oh my goodness, I forgot to share and like the show. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. It doesn't take long. It takes but a moment. And so what I do is I like it and I share it over to my personal news feed, and to let my friends know that I'm broadcasting. Um, it just takes a moment. Friends, I'm live streaming my weekly show and I got to make sure I spell it right. Communications from home. And then to please join me. And if I could ask you also to like and share, that would be really helpful. The reason why we do that, there's a couple reasons, but the main reason is for others to be able to find us easier. It's kind of like I don't know, Star Nation civic duty or something. It's because you remember what it was like when you first started searching for information. You knew there was something more, and sometimes it's hard to find, right? And so this is just being a little bit helpful, and so it helps us to be in the news feed a little bit more often. We do know that Facebook really likes and it likes shares and it likes comments, and so we try to do our best to be able to have our shows available as best we can, right? So it really would be helpful if you guys did like and share. So, and it doesn't take long. It took me just a couple seconds there. So, getting back to the cover. The cover. So, in the past, in the last few months, I would give these two images to our layout specialists, and they would design the cover with both of them, and we'd look at them, and it was clearly which one was going to make the cover for the month, right? But this month was different. Both covers I liked a lot. I saw good in both of them, and very little, maybe not kind of feelings. And what I would normally do is I would check in with my spiritual team and ask them, which cover would be for the highest good for those people who are looking for the magazine and for the magazine in general. And so when I did that, the answer I got back was both are good. Have the community select. Have the community select. And so what I did was I created a poll at one of our closed groups at Star Nations Radio Network. That was the very first closed group we created for Star Nations, and so that's where most of our active members in the community hang out, right? And so I created a poll and had them vote on which cover. And I tell you what really came out of it was very eye-opening for me. Okay, the comments that were coming back, of course, were very supportive comments, but they were insightful too. It's like, I really like this one, but I wish it were more of a winter scene than a beach scene, right? And then it was, the one had more color to it, had a red, and it just kind of really stood out for them. And I think one comment was, for the other cover that didn't make it to actually be published, it was too modern chic, and so that's not how I saw the picture when I first saw it. So anyway, it was a huge learning experience for me, and I really enjoyed it. I really did. And to have the community cast their votes to which cover was going to make it. And I'm going to give the cover a solo here so you can really look at it. Thank you, Andrea, for sharing. And so this cover was really about Valentine's and relationship, right? And yes, it's more on a beach. And our layout specialist, what they did was they did more of a grayscale cover to it. so that the article titles would actually stand out a bit more. And it reminded me that that even though most of our readers are from the northern hemisphere, we do have many readers who live in the southern hemisphere, and for them it's summertime. It's not winter; it's summertime. And so, yeah, that was one of the insights I had to the comments. And it's like, okay, to remember that we are a global community. We really are. We have people who read our magazine, purchase it from all over the world. And we also have people who watch our live stream shows from all over the world. It doesn't surprise me anymore when we have somebody that pops in from South Africa, or from Scotland, or from England, or from Canada, Mexico. We really are a global community. And so I think that this cover, if you didn't know the backstory to it, you probably wouldn't get that, right? You probably wouldn't get that. It was kind of subtle. Yeah. But I really do like this cover. And if you notice, we've been updating the logo as well, bringing a freshness to it. The font's the same. It's just the words are just kind of moved around a bit. Star Nations is much more prominent, and magazine is a little bit smaller size font. Yeah, and I think it looks good. We also did a transparency on the masthead, is what's that called, the banner, right? And so it's not this dark the black background that we used to have along the top. Yeah, I like it a lot. I really do. It took us a while to kind of, our Elf Elm, who does our layout, is also our graphic designers, and so they came up with several different versions to choose from, and so this is the one that everybody liked the most, and I like it a lot. I do. And even up in the right hand corner of the live stream, you see the North Star. The North Star has always been our branding icon, right? And it used to be a black background with a white star. Yeah. And so what we did was we took the blue that was in the original Star Nations North Star and made that the background. And I think I like it a lot. It kind of brightens things up, I think. Yeah. Because we're in a new vibration, right? We're in a new energy field, and I felt like we really needed to update and get that fresh look to it. Yeah. So the articles, we had the topics that were for this month's. I think I had them here somewhere. Hang on. I might have taken it off from there. I did. All right, hang on just a second. I'm going to get them. It won't take me but a minute here. I just have to get to the right document. I am much more organized than I used to be. All right, I just need to find. I just have a lot of documents. That's the problem. And it is, there it is. All right. So you'd think I know the topics, but we're already working on March issue. So they kind of merge at some point. All right. So the topics for this month are Valentine's Day, of course, the heart, Imbolic, the Chinese New Year, thoughts, and freedom. Yeah, I know that's a lot, but I try to give the contributing writers enough of a selection so that they don't feel kind of boxed in. That they have the opportunity to write from different perspectives on at least more than one topic. All right, and so this month, almost everybody wrote about the heart. Almost everyone. There, a few didn't, and I'll show you which ones it didn't, because some of them made the cover. So Valentine's Day, the heart, Symbolic, Chinese New Year's, thoughts, and freedom. And you might wonder, why would we choose freedom in February, right? And that really has more to do with the heart, and at some point when we do enough healing around our emotional traumas and our mental traumas, that we do feel the sense of freedom, to be who we came here to be, right? Yeah. All right, so here we go. We're going to talk about the articles. All right, just got to get that clicked. There we go. Okay, the first up is Maureen Mann. Maureen had her debut, her premiere article in Star Nations magazine. This is her very first article for Star Nations. She is a monthly contributing writer. She has her own live stream show as well. And the name of both her column and her show is Angel Therapy. And Maureen has a really strong background. She is a therapist, a social worker therapist. She deals a lot with post-traumatic stress, and yeah, and she also does mindfulness as well. So she's bringing to us her understanding and the depth that she has with the angels, and also with mindfulness, and also having the counseling background, right? And so her very first article was really about an introduction to who she is, and her experience, right? And let's see, I've got my notes right here. It says that Maureen, she shares her personal story and her connections to the angels, and she introduces us to the major archangels and their qualities. They're more than just four. Let's put it that way. Okay. There's many, many archangels. And Maureen has this unique perspective of the angels and helps us to understand our connection to the angelic realm, and to actually deepen it. Okay. And to deepen it. And here is her front page of her article. Give it a solo here. It's called Meeting the Angels. And the angel that we have in the on her front page here is Archangel Chamuel. And Chamuel, she connected with and did a little bit of a channeled writing for us, and also drew cards, and drawing those angelic cards to get a reading of the energy that was flowing for the article, right? And so you get to know her a bit more, but more importantly, you get to be comfortable with her writing style and her connection to the angels. I really liked her article a lot. She has this graph in there listing all the archangels that she has connection with, and their significance and how they can help us in our lives. So yeah, it's a really good article. And the next one is, here's Polly Joe. Everybody loves and knows Polly Joe LeBay. Polly Joe, she has her column, which is called Chakra Sessions. Of course, she's also one of our live stream show hosts as well. And her show is also called Chakra Sessions. And her experience really, is yes, it is chakras, but it's more than just the 7 chakras. And let me tell you, that lady knows a lot about how our chakras work, how they work together, how they assist us in our daily life. And it brings to us really the day-to-day aspect of our energy bodies, our energy centers, right? And in this particular article for February, when I first read it, because I get to read what I would say, it's still kind of a raw article, because even though they're edited for the final placement, without it being published, there's still like a raw piece, right? And so when I first read her article, wow is what I got to say. Hey, Julie's here. Hello, Julie Hedges. Good to have you here. Um, Polly Joe, the article that she co-wrote. All right, here is the full art, the front page of her article, "Evolving Through the Dimensions of the Heart." I tell you, it was fun finding this picture too, because it's kind of like a swirling energy going through and around the heart. This particular article, as I said, was co-written. Almost every single one of our writers do this. They connect with their spiritual team, and they get guidance on what to write, what information is most important to put in there, right? Um, which doesn't make things, around here all that unique, because we all do that. What makes this article unique is that one of her helping spirits, who's named the Ancient One, is the one who actually gave the information. Polly Joe, what she did was she wrote it. She put literally pen to paper, longhand, and channeled the information. And so, really, this information is coming from the Ancient One through Polly Joe. And yeah, what she wrote about together with the Ancient One is about the. Just going to say this, okay? They're a dynamic duo. Is that the Ancient One speaks about the dimensions, the auric layers, okay, of our heart. So it's just not our physical heart, and it's not just our spiritual heart. He tells us about the connection of our energetic evolution. Have you ever heard those words together in conjunction with the heart? I haven't. Energetic evolution. And so the information that the Ancient One shares opens, I think, us to a deeper understanding of our energetic fields, our auric heart. Yeah, how we have evolved over generations. And so, really, all the healing work that you guys do for yourself, healing those past traumas, finding the root of the fear, all that healing that you guys do, it really does make a big, big difference. It really does. Not just for yourself, but for your ancestors and for your descendants, but for the entire universe, really. Because the closer we get to our unique vibration, our unique energy that we came in with, everything is more in harmony, right? Yeah. Hey, Julie, thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing the show. I appreciate it. Julie's saying is yes, they're a dynamic duo. Yes, they are. Now, both Julie and I have experienced the Ancient One channeled through Julie. I'm sorry, through Polly Joe, when Julie was here for a class in October. It was, and still is, a very memorable experience to be in the Ancient One's presence. Yeah, I know I've told the story before, but I can't help it. I'm going to say it again. We were standing out on the deck at the Academy, Star Nations Academy. It faces east. And I happen to have my phone, and I have music on there, obviously. And one of the songs is the morning song sung in Lakota, and it's a beautiful song. It's not very long, but it's very beautiful. And so I'm playing it, and I happen to know the song, and so I'm singing along with the music. And the Ancient One started singing through Polly Joe in his own language. Basically, it was the same sentiments about the morning and the sunrise and meeting the Creator. But it was, I tell you what, we got done and we stood there in silence for a moment. It was like, holy cow, that was something. That was something. Do you remember that, Julie? How could you forget, right? How could you forget? All right. So the next article the next article to share with you. This is Jan Beaver. Jan Beaver is one of our elders here at Star Nations. Jan comes to us from Canada. She is Anishinaabeg, which means Ojibwa, one of the three tribes that came together are called the Anishinaabeg as one people. And yeah, and so what I had asked her if she could do me a favor is if she could write about something that doesn't get put in magazines very often. And that is why in many Native American nations here on Turtle Island, do we tell certain stories during certain times of the year. And there are only certain stories that are told in the wintertime. And not many people know that outside of the culture. Okay. And so she agreed. She agreed. And so it's a featured article. And what she wrote about was she explains why those stories, certain stories, are only told in the wintertime. And she also tells one of those stories, and it came through that version came through an elder that she met some time ago. And I just want to make sure that I hit what she wanted to relay. It's the Jan's featured article this month. She shares about the Anishinaabeg, the Ojibwa Nation belief of storytelling certain stories that are only told in winter. These stories are passed down from generation to generation. The creation story that Jan shares was told to her by an Anishinaabe elder. Now, you have to know that there are, 568, I think it is, federally recognized tribal nations here in the United States. There's many, many more than that, but that is federally recognized, right? And each one has their own creation story. Some of them are very similar and some of them are not. And so the story that Jan shares is from the Ojibwa or the Anishinaabe perspective. It's one of their stories. And it happens to be very, very similar to the Potawatomi, and that's who I'm enrolled with, a tribal member of, our creation story. And why is it very similar? Is because the Ojibwa, the Potawatomi, and the Odawa or the Ottawa, those are the three brothers or the three fires that came out to the west together from the East Coast. And so our languages are very similar, the Algonquin-based languages, and our creation story is very similar. And so reading this in Jan's article really touched my heart. It really did. And I know that's a very personal and partial statement to make, but, I can't help it. It did. And it reminded me of how my grandpa used to sit and tell us this story. Yeah. And so, can hear my Misho, my grandfather, his voice as I was reading the story. It's very nice. Here is the cover of that story. Jan wanted to have a fire and also a turtle. The turtle is on the second or third pages of her article, but this is her front page. And that fire is actually from one of the fires that I had here at my house. Yeah. It's very nice. I like it. It was a very full article, and I hope you enjoy it. If you get the magazine and you're reading the magazine, I hope you enjoy this article. Yeah, by Jan Beaver. All right. So the next one, this is Adrienne Campbell. Adrienne Campbell is one of our new contributing writers. She comes to us from North Carolina, and she is a solitary witch. So her belief system is Wiccan, but she doesn't belong to a coven. And one of her strengths is the herbs, the plants. And that's what she wanted to bring to Star Nations is that aspect of the Wiccan, right? And so in each one of her articles, she includes some sort of recipe, whether it's for teas or baths or how to use the herbs, the plants, to work with us, right? To help us. And so in this article is no different. And the reason why I chose her article for the cover, because she wrote about embolic. And the ceremony or the ritual that goes along with that from a Wicca perspective, right? Not necessarily just plain Celtic perspective, but from a Wiccan or a pagan perspective. Yeah. Okay, so Julie is saying she absolutely remembers that time out on the deck. Uh-huh. And she also says, I really like this magazine feature hour with the previews of the articles. I do too. I do too. I only took the cover articles this time because I was going to save the other ones for another round. Another round of introduction of the writers. You know what I should have done was taken a picture of the inside of the cover, how we show the highlighted articles. I'll have to remember to do that for next month, or maybe the next time I do one of these live streams about the contributing writers, I'll include the page where we highlight the articles that appear on the cover. It's really kind of nice. Our layout specialists really do have not just a keen eye, but they have Angelica has, gosh, it's got to be more than 25 years now, experience with InDesign, Adobe InDesign. But she also has been a part of layout for, gosh, it's got to be 30 years, 35 years. Let's see. I've known her for 40 years. So it's got to be close to 35. Yeah. Did I say I know her for 40 years? Yeah, I did. She happens to be my sister-in-law. And and so, but she has this gift of being able to look at a layout and put things in a way that is really unique, and makes you kind of take a second look at it, right? She's really good at it. All right, so back to Adrian. Now, Adrian comes to us as a recommendation from Eddie Mullins. And who is Eddie Mullins? Eddie Mullins is one of our contributing writers. And I've known Eddie now for, I don't know, probably 10 years, I think. We both had internet radio shows on Soul's Journey way back in the day. And then he came to Star Nation's radio network when we first started it, and had a show with us, and also was a contributing writer at that point. And then he took a break. And then last year, I contacted him to see what he was doing and if he was interested in writing for us again. And he said yes. Yay! And so anyway, he introduced me to Adrian, and it was from that first talk with Adrian that I realized that we really did need her energy in Star Nations from the point of view of an herbalist, right? With a pagan belief system. And so when you read her articles, she will definitely point that out to you. But she also includes her recipes. Yeah. And if I remember right, this one was a tea. Hang on, let me get my notes. Oh, here it is. All right. No, I'm sorry. This one has elderberry syrup. Here, I'm going to show you the front page of that article. All right. So Adrian, I think, did a really beautiful job in explaining to us what embolic is and the goddess Bridget. She also shares with us the connection of the Festival of Lights, which embolic actually was better known for prior to Christianity. Okay. And of course of the goddess. She also includes this excellent recipe of elderberry syrup, to help us keep healthy during those long winter months. Yeah. And so this picture, she actually found the picture, and this is a top view shot of somebody preparing, actually, I think the tea, but it's really good. I really like it. It really kind of encapsulates, how she works when she brings together a recipe for us. Yeah. So, how many people really even connected the Festival of Lights to embolic, right? Well, she helps us to understand that. Yeah. I think that she makes a really good team with Carla Jo Worth, who is our other um, solitary witch who writes for us. And they both write under the column, or the section, I'm sorry, the section called Sacred Feminine. Sacred Feminine. And so they both come from a pagan point of view and a witch's point of view, but they have two different strengths within that. Yeah. So I think they really make a good working team. Good working team. Hey, Michael, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Okay, so Adrienne, I think she started in October, this past October. And she's a joy to work with, let me tell you. She's joyful, and she wants to be so helpful. And as a writer, she is working with one of our main editors, Sharon Rosenblum, and so she does the editing for Adrienne's articles, and so they're working together. And Adrienne's really, her writing was strong to begin with, but Sharon is helping her to really polish it up, and I think you can tell. All right, so there was another article. I don't have the picture for it. I should have, and I didn't. Rats. Rats. Let me see. Maybe I missed them. Let me go back. No, in fact, I think I was going to do it, and I got pulled away. Darn. Okay. So what we're going to talk about is two other articles. And one of the other articles was written by Karen Crowley-Suzani. And Karen Crowley-Suzani is somebody that I've known early 2000s. We were trained by the same person for feng shui and sacred space way back in the day, right? 18 years ago. But recently, Karen moved to France. And she and her husband teach classes about earth energies. And so that's the name of her column, is Earth Energies. And what she wrote for us this month is the heart chakra and building sacred sites. The heart chakra and building sacred sites. What she really brings to us is the understanding of the sacred geometry and what the architects were really trying to bring together within the sacred geometry and the building aspect. Okay. And so it's like, I never knew that most churches, and especially certain churches, even the ceiling, the buttresses, are built to certain measurements, so that when you're walking through, you're actually activating your chakras as you're walking through. And who would even know that, right? Who would even know that if they weren't reading some of Karen's articles? And so anyway, this month she says that her passion for investigating the energies of sacred sites is a bonus for us, really. It really is. She shares her fascination with discovering the varying types of earth energies and sacred geometry used to build holy places. Now, that's just not churches, but that's also where they place holy wells and that sort of thing. In this article, Karen takes a look at the use of the heart chakra energy in a few different types of civilizations and their sacred sites. And so she mentions Newgrange, and she mentions, I'm trying to remember the ones that she talked about. Yeah, there's just so many, and so she actually picked out the ones that she thought would be most helpful to us. And so, if you enjoy Earth energies and sacred geometry, and how those two items come together, you're going to love her article, and especially with it being around the heart chakra. Yeah. Yeah. And the last one, the last article that I wanted to share with you is an article that was written by Ortrun Franklin, but it was presented by Carl Franklin in our show last month on the Mystery School. And that's the name of their column is the Mystery School. And the name of the article is Attaining Ultimate Freedom. Attaining Ultimate Freedom. Yeah. Um, I thought I had his book here. I think I took it back downstairs. Um, his book was the base of the show. And it says that Orchard and Carl bring into focus another perspective of personal freedom. This perspective is all about the spirit in our ascension. If you desire ultimate freedom, and who doesn't, right? This article and heartfelt insights are for you. They include the recorded live stream video of our recent live stream show, The Mystery School, where they shared about Carl's new book, Earth Ascension, Nibiru and the Spirit Realm. And in his book, he talks about the ultimate freedom. And he talks about that ascension and bringing together so that we connect our mind and our heart, and that we're actually living and functioning out of that thought process that combines those two. So we're living out of our high heart, and that is what he's referring to as the ultimate freedom. And that show, I tell you, I get to produce their show, but I also am a co-host, and so I was interviewing him about his book, and what Ortrude wrote about in her article was really about the nuts and bolts of it, really. And in the interview, we get to hear Carl's perspective firsthand of why he wrote certain things in the book and his personal experience around it. Yeah. Andrea is saying, looking forward to reading about sacred geometry, which I find endlessly fascinating. I do too. I do too. And when you get to know Karen, Karen is a fascinating teacher and writer. Not only does she know about sacred space and space clearing and all that, she used to be airline. She was in the Air Force. She was a pilot. And when she left that, she became a commercial pilot. And that's where she was noticing things from that high up about the earth. And so, it just fascinated her. And so she wanted to know more about it. And that's what led her into the sacred sites, right? And then she started studying about earth energies and where sacred geometry, the Fibonacci, fits into all of that. And so, yes, fascinating. And I've interviewed her, I don't know, 2 or 3 times. And so we have those in archive. What we could do is, wouldn't it be fun if she had her own show? I think it'd be great. She does live in France. She comes back to the States several times a year, and they hold classes for Earth energies. Yeah. Follow them on Instagram. She has great pictures of what they do on Instagram. Is it Master Builders? We'll have to find that for you. I don't have it with me right now, but I will get it posted for you, and you can check out their Instagram site. She posts a lot of their pictures and the work that they do there. So yeah, it's a good one, huh, Andrea? Yeah. All right, I'm going to give you a. Let's see. Do I have that here? Hang on, let me grab it. I'm going to give you the links for how to purchase the magazine. There we go. The magazine itself, just the story about how we got there. We started out the magazine with being just digital. And we still have it that way. The digital is for your mobile devices, your smartphones and your tablets, right? That was our original version. And that probably is the one that we're mostly dedicated to, really, because we have most purchases coming through the digital. And then I want to say probably around 9 months into producing the magazine, we found a partner at Mag Cloud that could do the print on demand and also offer it as a PDF version and also as a web viewer version. And what's the difference between those two? Because both of them you can look at and read the magazine from any one of your devices with the web viewer or the PDF version. The PDF you can actually download and store on your own hard drive. And so you can look at it again. You can collect them and refer back to them. Many people refer to our magazine as a resource, and that that it's got great references in there and resources, and so they use it for their own classes that they teach to refer back to. And so that for the PDF you can download it to your hard drive. The web viewer, or for those people who don't like to keep that kind of stuff on their hard drive, and they don't want to have a hard copy of it because they're very eco-friendly, right? So they do the web viewer, and the web viewer is kept on in the cloud, and so you can access it anytime. You just don't have it on your hard drive. And so however you like to read your reading material, we have that offering to you. And let me put the links in the comments so you can have that. Just got to get down there. So it's digital and print on demand and web viewer and PDF. And here are the links for that. It's going to go out there. And so it's relatively easy to do. To be able to, if you have your smartphone and you guys have already downloaded the app is free. The magazine is $2.99 a copy, or you can get a subscription. The print on demand is with shipping and all of that is probably around $20. We try to keep it under at 20 or under, because we know that everybody's on a budget, right? So we try to keep that particular version of the magazine around that same cost. The digital, the web viewer, and the PDF are $2.99 through MagCloud. Yeah. So you can always get back issues if you want. Take a look at them. We go all the way back to October 2013. Yeah, we got a lot of issues. We're working on issues number 70 right now. The February issue is issue 69. Yeah, so we got some experience going here, right? We got some experience with producing a magazine. Let's see, did that? Yep, it did go. Okay, great. And Andrea's saying, I'm glad you do a print copy. I like paper copies to hold in my hands. I'm old school, I guess. There's a very large portion of our community who do like that. That's why I look so hard to find a partner that could do the print on demand for us. There's lots of them out there, but MagCloud was the one that was the easiest and most friendly to work with. You do have to download their app, which is free, to be able to use their their PDF and web viewer version, right? Yeah. But we do that anyway, right? With so many other things. So it's not that difficult. I do know that we have a lot of people, younger people, probably in their 30s, who like the web viewer version of it, because that way they can still be standing in line someplace and still download it and read it from their phone. Yeah. Do you remember when it was the only time that you could read a magazine was in the library or at home? Really? I mean, yeah, you could take it with you, read like you read the newspaper. Does anybody even get a print newspaper anymore? I know I do. Actually, I get it from my mom on Sundays. Sunday mornings, as part of her ritual, is to read the Sunday paper with a cup of coffee. Yeah. Sometimes she does the crossword too. Yeah. All right. Well, let me think of what else I need to help you with, to give you information about that I hopefully didn't forget. We got new shows starting, right? I don't know if you caught it last month. January 24th was Maureen Mann's debut. Her first live stream show was on January 24th. And so her show is Angel Therapy, and it is on the third Thursday of every month. Wait, back up, fourth Thursday of every month. And it's on at 4 p.m. Wait a minute. See, new shows. I should know this one by heart. It's the third Thursday of every month. I get that mixed up. Can't have it on the fourth Thursday because that's the Elder Day. So it's the third Thursday of every month at 4 p.m. Eastern is Angel Therapy. And coming up on February 14th, this coming Thursday at 4 p.m. is Life Wisdom with Ed Langdon. And Ed is, his premiere article just came out in the January issue of the magazine. And so his first live stream show is this month on the 14th. And he's going to be doing an introduction, of course, so you guys know who he is, so he can introduce himself. But he's also going to be doing, since it's Valentine's Day, he's going to be talking about relationships and the best relationship you could ever have, right? And that's with yourself. And so he's also going to be doing, helping us out with blocks, interferences, to get those removed around self-love. So he's going to be doing some tapping and helping us to learn how to tap, and then we're going to be doing some tapping for that. And he's also going to be doing some channeling work. If you have a question that you'd like to ask the Ascended Masters who Ed channels, you can contact him with your question tonight. Hopefully, he wanted them like on the 12th, so he had some time to spend with them. And we can put the link in the comment section and where to send your question to Ed. Okay, for Thursday afternoon. Yeah. Thank you for that. Yay. Stephanie's in the house. And so she has all the information you ever wanted to know about Ed's show right there. Yeah. And also the link is there also for where to send your question. Yeah. Yep. And Stephanie is saying, I wish I get them every once in a blue moon. Yeah, those print copies. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I have something going on with the print copies too. I'm going to try to get that pulled off this year. Is to have them by subscription. And so, whenever you get something in more of a bulk, we can get a better rate on it, right? And so one of the things that I've been wanting to do is to offer the print magazine as a subscription, because through MagCloud you can't get it as a subscription, but we can order them for groups. And so if we start a group, we can order the magazine and maybe have it a little bit cheaper, right? To be able to do that. Now, the thing is that I need help to do that. Yeah, because I'm only one person, right? Yeah, and so when that falls into place, we're going to be able to offer that like an in-house subscription. Um, and so we can get that print copy to you maybe a little bit less than what we're paying through MagCloud as a single copy, right? Yeah. So we're going to be working on that. I'd like to get that done before the end of 2019. Wouldn't that be nice? Yeah, that was one of my goals last year, writing things down, right? Which things to get done in 2018, what can be done in 2019. And so it is one of the things we're going to work on for you guys. Andrea is saying the subscription would be great. Yeah, we're going to try to get that done. Try to get the organization, the foundation underneath it, so that it can support itself within the organization, right? Yeah, that's what we need to do. We'll get there. We've done it so many times for the academy, for the live stream shows, for the magazine. So we can do it again. Yeah, it's just carving out the time to get it done. Yep. All right. Well, we're at the top of the hour. I wanted to thank you for being with me this evening for Communications from Home. This is my weekly show. And for those who don't know me, I am the steward of Star Nation's organization. Some people call it the CEO. I don't really care for that term, but the rest of the world, that's what the language they use. So that's how I can share with you what's been going on and what we're looking forward to in the future. And so when those of you that'll be watching the recorded version of this live stream, thank you as well for being with us. And if you could also share and like the show, that would be very helpful too. Okay. All right. So hopefully we'll see you guys here tomorrow evening for Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay. That's at 7 p.m. Eastern. And if you haven't experienced that show with Polly Jo, it's not really even a show. We can't really call it a show because it's all about healing, a healing meditation. And the first half of that evening with us, it's about an hour and a half. The second half is the card readings. So Polly Jo, what she'll do, if you want a single card, she will draw a card for you and do a mini reading for you. That's probably become the most well-loved, I'm not even going to say liked, loved aspect of what Polly Jo does here at Star Nations. A couple weeks ago, I think she drew like 55 cards. That's a lot of cards, 55. So, yeah, come and join us. It's when we have that kind of group energy, that collective kind of energy for the healing, it's a powerful evening. It really is. So that's Wednesday, Soul Connections with Polly Jo LeBay at 7 p.m. Eastern. And then catch us on Thursday. We start out the day with the daily live stream and group card read. That's my daily show. And that's at 3 p.m. Eastern. And then at 4 p.m. Eastern is Ed Langdon's show, Life Wisdom. Okay? All right. Yay. Thanks for being with me, and we'll see you next week for Communications from Home. Yeah, and Bama Mina, that's Potawatomi for until we see each other again. Good night, everybody.